Hello and welcome to a rather different episode of Rentapoints. Normally, I'd be taking you through one specific game and its achievements, but today we'll be taking a look back over the past 10 games and listing them by points achieved. Yes, ladies and gents, this is the first Rentapoints Top 10 review. So far, we've taken a look at several games from all sorts of genres, from sci-fi shooters and extreme motorsports, to super realistic flight sims and cute and cuddly adventures. Yeah, we've covered quite a bit actually, and gained some serious gamer score along the way. And seeing that my last review was episode number 10, I figured now would be a good time for a recap. So, without further ado, on with the top 10. Wait, that doesn't really work. Joe! What rhymes with 10? I can't say that. Never mind, roll the clip.
Number 10.
And at number 10 we have the lowest scoring game of this series with a grand total of 0 points. That's right, it's Section 8. Now, this is here completely on a technicality. I did actually get some points on this one. Enough, in fact, that if the game hadn't forcefully removed them from my account, it would not be bottom of the list. So it kind of screwed itself on that one. That doesn't mean that I like you though, Section 8. You may not deserve to be bottom of this list, but you sure as hell don't deserve to be top of it either.
Number 9.
This is another game that I feel is misplaced, but this time its position is down to my poor piloting skills and nothing else. I know that having it at number 9 may cause some confusion, but you have to remember, these ratings bear no reflection on the game itself, they simply represent its gamerscore. As such, IL-2 Sturmovik is a brilliant game for its genre. Yes, it may only cater for a minority, but it does so with a feast. After posting up the original review, I realised what this game was missing. A full joystick and throttle controller. You know, like the beast that came with Steel Battalion. No? Steel Battalion? You know, big mechs with the guns and loud noises and all the pretty flashing lights that do something. Okay, go Google it, you'll be surprised. Unfortunately, this game was just not for me and I only managed to get 85 points. So in terms of gamerscore, it's not what you're looking for. Hey, that rhymes! See, Joe? I can rhyme stuff too!
Number 8.
Not my worst scoring game, but my worst for everything else. There really was nothing I enjoyed about playing this. If I heard spinning rods one more time, I was going to infinitely murder someone. I so wanted this game to be bottom of the list, but somehow I managed to unlock 9 of the 50 achievements, giving me a total score of 115. After posting the original review, my friends and I began discussing its odd name, and came up with a few of our own. Unlimited Unfinding, Innumerable Unrevelation, Fathomless Undevising. These are just a few of the numerous titles we come up with, all just as ridiculous as the original. I won't bitch on about this one too much, I already spent a whole episode doing that, so I'll end with saying this. Infinite Undiscovery? We're not angry, we're just disappointed.
Number 7.
Okay, we're done with the low scoring bad games, now on to the mid-range okay games. And first off, we have the one and only mech game of this season. Come to think of it, there aren't that many mech games on the market. There's plenty of games that feature mechs, like Lost Planet and Killzone 3, but there aren't that many in which they're the focus. There's this, Armored Core, Chromehounds, which has been pretty much dead since they shut down the servers, and I guess you could argue that Dynasty Warriors Gundam is a mech game, but that would be like arguing that Foxconn is the safest and happiest place to work. You're just not going to win that one. As for scores, Front Mission Evolved gave me 580 points after unlocking 14 of its 27 achievements.
Number 6.
Arguably the most family-friendly game, and by the looks of it, the only proper adventure game of this season, Mini Ninjas. This one kinda surprised me. At the time of renting it, I really didn't expect much from it. Everything about this game, from the box art to the trailers, sold it as an adventure game for kids, and from the look of it, I originally thought this game would be better suited as an exclusive title on the Nintendo Wii. But I was very wrong. This game is brilliant. It was charming, funny, addictive, challenging, everything a good adventure game should be. For a game rated PEGI 7, I really didn't expect to be this entertained by it. Hell, it even got that annoying catchphrase stuck in my head. Ninjas! As for so many of the games in this list, I feel this one could have been placed higher. I scored 630 points, which could have been over the 700 mark if I had played it on hard. Despite its mid-range position, I still love this game, and probably had more fun playing this than any other game of this season.
Number 5.
And now we have our movie franchise game of this season. And what a franchise to make a game about. Ghostbusters. I absolutely love the films and couldn't wait to play this from the moment the first teaser trailers were released. And it's alright. Don't get me wrong, I think they did a great job, and at times you really did feel like a Ghostbuster, but there were certain elements of the gameplay that occasionally killed it for me. Things like the characters repeating the same catchphrase over and over. Yes, we all love Ghostbusters and all the wonderful catchphrases it's given us, but please, stop driving them into the ground. Despite a few gripes, I still think this is a good example of how to do movie franchise games right. Thinking about it, wouldn't this game be better suited as more of a sandbox style game? Imagine it, you can still take on all the same major enemies and follow the same story, but in between missions you get to drive around the city in Ecto 1 and deal with any minor disturbances at your leisure. I for one think that a game like that would have really blown the fans away, but we can only dream. As for points, Ghostbusters is the first in this list to break the 700 mark and make it into the good category. In total, I scored 710 and unlocked 36 of the 50 achievements.
Number 4.
I take it back, this is the most fun I've had playing this season. And I got some damn good gamer score from it as well, 755 points. Out of all the games I've played so far, this was the most addictive. The amount of races available kept me playing through the night. I recently bought myself Dirt 3 based solely on my love for this one, and so far I'm pleased with my purchase. It's not often I fork out the full amount for a new game, so when I do, I like to make sure I'm getting my money's worth. In terms of achievements, Dirt 2's were pretty good. I unlocked 755 out of the 1,000, and 37 of the 47 achievements. A small word of warning though. If you are renting this game, do not expect to get the full 1,000. There are online achievements which require you to have the game for at least 4 weeks before giving up all the points. Aside from that, it's all good.
Number 3.
I remember this one. My first ever review. I actually watched this one back recently and god, it was cringeworthy. I like to think my writing and editing has improved since then, but you lot can be the judge of that. Much like Mini Ninjas, I did not expect much from this game. It wasn't heavily advertised and really didn't have any driving force behind it. But it was actually pretty good. I liked the time travel idea, although it was a shame you couldn't really control it. Yeah, it felt like I was playing Half-Life, but who cares? Half-Life is a great game, so why not use its style? The only other thing I want to mention about this game was the silly ending. Depending on your understanding of time, mine being based on the Back to the Future films, the ending is impossible. But I've already been through that, so if you want to know what I'm on about, go watch the review. Let's see if we can start a debate on the limitations of time travel. As for points, this one scored very high, giving me 790 gamer score after unlocking 39 of the 50 achievements. Little side note, I did play some online multiplayer, which I don't normally even get a chance to do. But this game was so easy that I played through the campaign twice and still had 3 days left before returning it.
Number 2.
Another memorable review. This time co-hosted by our resident Halo expert Joe Ice and special guest Nathan Fillion. Sorta. Although I may not have been much of a fan of the Halo series beforehand, after playing this I was certainly singing a different tune. From what I know about the series, ODST was a step in a much darker and more serious direction. Instead of playing this almighty, unstoppable super soldier, you played as an ordinary trooper dropped into the middle of an enemy-occupied city, alone and at night. You really did get the feeling that anything and everything can and will kill you, especially on the harder difficulties. I'm not sure how this went down with the rest of you, but I found it kind of refreshing and much more suspenseful. Like I said in my review, ODST was my introduction to the Halo series, and since renting it I have gone on to nearly complete Halo Reach. I'm also quite excited about the new Halo games announced at this year's E3, so much for Reach being the last in the series. Points to this one were nice and high, giving me 830 after unlocking 35 of the 50 achievements.
Should have been number 1!
Shut up, Joe!
Number 1.
What a crap game. Short story, forgettable characters, frustrating health systems, repetitive enemies, harsh difficulty curve and poor visuals. They couldn't even get the movie actors to do the voices. This truly is a great example of how not to do movie franchise games. But it's perfect for gamer score. The full 1000 points for 11 achievements. There is only one game I know of that is more generous than Terminator Salvation, and I can't for the life of me get my hands on a copy. If you're looking for gamer score at the cost of your sanity, then Terminator Salvation is for you. Well, that's it for this episode and for this series of Rentapoints. It's been a long and emotional journey, and I thank you for joining me on it. I'll be back in a few weeks to start off another round of achievement whoring, but until then, have fun, play safe, and in the immortal words of Captain Jack Sparrow, take what you can and give nothing back. Laters!
you dare to round. The novelty of leaving will wear out. Your words don't say so much. The look in your eyes can mean much more to me. The novelty of grieving will wear out.
Can you count to 10?
No!
That's what I'm saying.
You only got a 3!